Welcome to class.
Hi.
My name is Rachel Riley. I'm going to be facilitating the discussion today. My pronouns are she, her, and we're going to be navigating controversial conversations. I'll take just a brief moment and have you introduce yourselves with your first name and your pronouns. We can start over here.
My name's Stephanie, she, her.
I'm Sarah, she, her.
Mark, he, him.
Kelly, she, her.
Allie, she, her.
Hello.
Thank you all for being here. Get to know each other. I'm going to start with an introduction. So we're going to be navigating controversial conversations. This is the LGBTQ plus edition. So the topics we're going to be covering are related to LGBTQ issues. That stands for lesbian, gay, bi, transsexual, questioning, or queer, and plus, all inclusive. First up for our agenda, I'm going to do a brief introduction. Be 5 minutes. The total course today is going to be 30 minutes, and I'll have you out of here. The first topic is trans bathroom access. The second topic is conversion therapy. The third topic is adopted LGBTQ plus parenting. And the last part is a debrief. The learning objectives today are going to be to encourage you all to engage in an open and respectful conversation about these LGBTQ rights and issues. It's going to be develop critical thinking skills by analyzing multiple perspectives and being open to other people's opinions. And we're going to foster an inclusive learning environment where you all feel comfortable and safe sharing your thoughts. This is a safe space. Speaking of that, I have a couple ground rules, 5 of them here. They're very basic. Be a good human. That involves respecting all opinions and perspectives. We're going to use I statements. So an example of that would be, I feel offended by that, and here's why, instead of that is offensive. So we're using I statements. The third one is active listening. So we're going to avoid interrupting one another, giving each other time to speak. The fourth is disagreeing with ideas, not individuals. And the fifth one is just to maintain a safe and inclusive space. And on that note, if there are any disruptions or unruly divisive behaviors, I'll step in and make sure that it remains safe for each of us. And please feel free to raise your hand if it feels like it's reaching that point for you, and I will help de-escalate that. If you look down on your name tags, you've each been assigned a role. There's a color and an icon on there. You can take a look. So the first one is the moderator. I believe that's you, Kelly. And that task is to be helping to facilitate the conversation, ensure that everyone has an opportunity to share. We want to encourage active participation from everyone. So if you notice someone not speaking up, maybe you can ask someone that's doing a lot of speaking to pause and give someone an opportunity to talk. Sarah, you are our note taker. You have a pen and paper there. You're going to be taking notes for our presenter, who's Allie. The note taker is going to be taking clear and concise notes about the summary of the group's conversation. The presenter, Allie, is going to be sharing those results in a very quick 30-second debrief per topic. So boom, boom, boom at the very end of this in our debrief. Mark, you are the timekeeper, so I want you to help keep us on track. You saw the agenda at the beginning. We're going to do a 5-minute introduction, and then each topic is 5 minutes. The middle topic has a video that will be in addition to that 5 minutes. And then the debrief is 5 minutes as well. So rule of 5. And lastly, Stephanie is our devil's advocate. She is going to be playing this role in encouraging critical thinking to help the group explore different perspectives. So if we're finding a homogenous opinion, Stephanie might step in and try to shake things up in a respectful way to help encourage some other ways of thinking. Do you have any questions before we jump into this first topic? No questions? Okay. All right, the first topic is transgender bathroom access. This topic centers on the debate surrounding transgender individuals' right to use public restrooms that facilities that align with their gender identity. To get the conversation started, let's begin with a quote from Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz was quoted saying, "We shouldn't be facilitating putting little girls alone in a bathroom with grown men. That's just a bad, bad, bad idea." Let's begin the discussion by answering this question, and I'm going to pose it to all 5 of you. Who should be determining who uses which bathrooms and when? Who should be making that decision?
Whoever's business it is.
Whoever's business? So like the
If it's a
physical
private owner.
Okay. So if it's a private facility, they should be determining that?
Yeah.
Okay. Any different opinions, same opinions? We have 5 minutes here to discuss transgender bathroom.
Are we talking just bathrooms or locker rooms as well?
It could be inclusive of locker rooms as well. So if you have, if you think, for instance, Allie, you have a daughter, how would you feel if a trans girl came into the locker room and was using the same facilities as your daughter?
I would feel okay with that.
You feel okay with that?
So you would feel okay if a trans came in and unzipped their fly and was peeing and she's still, I mean, I don't mean to be.
What are,
But
how are we
Yeah.
The
defining,
women's,
how are we defining what the transition is? Has this person started taking some sort of supplemental hormone? Or is this a person who the day before identified as a male, the next day wants to identify as a female and is gonna flip flop?
And also, if they're in a women's bathroom, we have stalls, separated stalls,
Right.
however they're.
McFarland does not.
So a local school district here does not have stalls?
They do not.
Okay, is that a safety issue with,
I think it could be.
Wait, really?
Not all the schools have stalls in the locker rooms.
So the toilets are just open?
Some of them.
I could see that
Locker
for
rooms
safety
specifically.
reasons.
right, if people are doing
That's
things
why I
behind
asked.
closed
Drugs
doors,
and
they shouldn't
stuff,
be?
yeah.
That blows my mind.
Or
So
there was
just being in
a
the
recent
bed, right.
instance of
What? I had never
a
heard of this.
male saying that they were transitioning to female and sexually harassing them in the locker room where there were no adults around.
And that's never okay, right? And then how, on the other side of that, how do we protect people that you have a 5-year-old trans person was born with male anatomy and identifies as a female and has her entire life and wants to use the bathroom along with all of her classmates? Is she meant to go into the men's bathroom?
That's why we have family bathrooms.
So a family bathroom is a solution? Sarah, I haven't heard from you.
I think you have to have some sort of family,
Mhm.
or one that's just for, I don't think you wanna have one just for transgender, but some place where anybody can use it, just put a bathroom for somebody like that.
Well, why don't we make all bathrooms that way then?
I think we should, but I don't think facilities everywhere have the opportunity, the space, the
Mhm.
funding to do that.
Well, what if we just took down the men and women's signs and just have bathrooms?
So
But,
where my family goes for swim lessons, there's just one big locker room. Everything is stalled though, so there's stalls for like changing, and everyone has, the baby table in there too.
Mhm.
And then on each side, there's also 3 stalls of bathrooms with doors closed. But it's for everyone to use. I wouldn't allow my children to a certain age be in there by themselves.
So you as a parent would be able to do what you felt was comfortable with your family to keep your kids safe in a
Yeah.
physical environment.
And yeah, but it's not a gender specific space. It's all inclusive space.
Mhm.
So that's different than.
Do any of you have gendered bathrooms in your own home?
No, but we should.
why?
Boys pee all over the toilet.
That's an opinion.
It's a fact.
Mark,
That's
how
an
are we?
opinion with a lot of evidence.
Yeah. Mark, how are we doing on time for this 5-minute segment?
We have 18, 17 seconds.
Perfect. We will take that time and wrap it up. Any final thoughts about this bathroom conversation?
Oh, I should have told her 1 minute.
Oh, you're just fine. Okay, we're gonna hop into the next topic here. This one has a video. So conversion therapy. The practice of conversion therapy involves attempts to change an individual's sexual orientation or gender identity. Next, we're gonna watch a brief video. During this video, prepare to discuss your stance on conversion therapy.
I was active in the gay community for 13 years.
I was in it for 6 years, then struggled for 5 years before finding true freedom.
It was 13 years for me.
4 for me. We both walked away from it.
I personally came out of the homosexual lifestyle.
And we're just saying that if you want to change, there is a way to do it.
I spent a lot of time thinking, how did I believe that?
We were the leaders of the ex-gay movement. We believed that something must have happened to make you gay.
Parents are learning about a program called Exodus, which claims to convert gays.
We were promoting an idealized version of life. Gay people could be saved.
I became a figurehead for this movement. My role was to get the message out. Homosexuality was changeable. I aimed to be loved and to love a man.
I went to my first Exodus conference when I was 17 years old. I remember feeling like this is the path to be good.
It was awful pseudo-psychology.
I started having panic attacks, the same-sex attractions. Those never went away.
We had guys that attempted suicide because they felt guilty that they couldn't change.
Looking at the offensive field that you broke and was empty. The voice inside me said, how could you do that to your own people?
There are new people taking up the torch.
I left transgender and I left everything, follow the Lord.
There's so much shame.
We're killing ourselves by not embracing who God created us to be.
Are you straight now? You're not a gay person who fights with yourself every day.
Right.
So span that slide. So that was a heated little clip. Anyone have any initial thoughts on that preview for that movie?
That was heavy.
Very heavy.
Yeah.
Feel free to take a moment.
Is it out right now, that movie?
That movie is out, yeah, it's been out for quite a while.
Okay.
Just some more context around this video. Conversion therapy is allowed in many places in the United States still, and it's still practiced. It's practiced here in Wisconsin. And many churches and religious organizations, as well as even schools, offer versions of this type of therapy, which has been pretty debunked in modern psychology, but it's still practiced pretty heavily. So, any initial thoughts?
How is it proven effective?
How is conversion therapy proven? I don't know. I think you would ask someone that is promoting conversion therapy, and I think the result would be not having someone be gay.
Because I could sit here all day and tell you I'm straight.
Right, like does that guy actually think that he's straight now?
I think you can change someone's sexuality like you can change their skin color. It doesn't happen.
Meaning you cannot change.
Correct.
That's what
Right.
you believe.
There's no action reaction to it. If that were the case, I would be attracted to men. My ex-wife had an affair. Still attracted to women.
So you're saying even if you
There's
wanted
no
to be,
cause for someone to be gay.
you're not choosing this?
No.
Okay.
That's a perception that a lot of people have, that it's a chosen sexual.
A choice.
I mean, that's the, yeah, it's a sexual choice.
Mm-hmm.
Who would choose a miserable, what used to be, in a country where you weren't allowed to be married? Or you could be fired from a job.
It's not logical to make a choice like that.
So you're saying you wouldn't choose to be othered?
No. But I think that this goes along the same lines as spanking a kid for hitting somebody. Are we gonna shock you or poison you or something because you have these thoughts?
Yes.
I'm
we
just
do.
giving a consequence to what you enjoy.
Right.
You're gonna continue to do it.
What do you think, Allie?
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole thing is pretty messed up. As a therapist myself, leading people away from their true authentic selves is disgusting.
So it's not something you would choose to practice.
But if you lived in a country where your child could be killed for being gay, would you do everything you could to help your kid be safe where they live?
Yes.
Would that include conversion therapy?
It's a really good question.
That is a really good
Because
question.
you're talking about the survival of your child.
Right.
And there are countries where you can get killed for that,
Sure can.
executed.
There are places in the US where people are still killed for it.
Right.
iPad storage is full.
Or would you just
Oh,
expect your
no.
child to be quiet and miserable and not say anything?
Are there other cameras?
You just put that behind it.
It's like the same thing, right?
Either change it or hide it. What? It's not two good choices.
Yeah, I mean, I think if it was like the only option to keep somebody safe, I guess I would have to consider it.
And then
I wouldn't want to.
you'd
Right.
have to work on a long-term solution to change your situation. You know, I had an offer to go to Korea and be the manager in Korea. And I read all about Korea and their history and the Japanese history and all the conflicts and all the social stuff. And at that time, I wouldn't move and take that position and put Kelly in that culture. She was a young child, and it would have really been, I mean, women at that time were treated very poorly in South Korea.
Mhm.
They were second-class citizens. Not even that, I mean, it was,
But if you are someone who doesn't have the privilege or the financial stability to be able to move your family, then what?
no,
But the real issue is like, how do we get other people to change their perspective too?
Right,
Why
changing
does
everyone
it
around
matter?
you rather
Like,
than your kid.
exactly, like,
Mhm.
love is love, man. Like,
Yeah, because
That's
if
your
my-
thing,
If my
like-
kid dies by suicide because I had them do this to
Right.
protect them from
Mhm.
other
Exact-
people killing
yeah.
them.
It's like having a kid with an addiction.
no, it's a tough deal, that's a real,
I think you made a really good point. Like if you're doing everything you can to keep your child safe.
And this is your only option. What do you do?
I think a lot of parents did.
My parents did.
You know that
My church.
not that long ago, you couldn't live the way you
I would've lost my
can
job.
now if you were gay.
I would have
Yeah.
lost my job.
The job you had for the U.S. government.
Mhm.
Yeah. How are we doing for time? Time. All right. Thank you for being vulnerable.
That was a good one.
The last topic we have.
it's interesting.
These are my favorite topics to talk about.
I'll just edit this. I don't know why it's freezing on here.
Somehow that doesn't surprise me. Being through class.
This is annoying. Sorry, y'all.
have you watched that movie then?
I have. It's really good.
Yeah, I definitely wanted it. I didn't even know that was a movie.
Yeah.
What's the name of it?
Right away.
Netflix.
I'd put my kid on that plane with 52 other kids to a different country. We're on season 3 of Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
It's taken me 3 times
Yeah.
to start.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, not in a heartbeat.
and now we're both like,
Okay. Almost back to it.
Korea is one muffed up place.
Okay.
When I read
All right.
about it, I said, we are going to the family.
Our last topic here is adoptive LGBTQ plus parents. We'll have 5 minutes to discuss this one. This topic focuses on the rights of LGBTQ plus. This topic focuses on the rights of LGBTQ plus individuals and couples to adopt children. Debates can touch on issues of discrimination, well-being of adopted children, etc. I'm going to start you with a quote here. This was Pope Francis in 2010, so not very long ago. We're not talking about simple political battle. It's a destructive pretension against the plan of God that seeks to confuse and deceive the children of God. And that was Pope Francis on gay men, specifically adopting children. He had a hard stance against that, and therefore the Catholic Church was opposed to gay people, gay men, adopting children. Let's conclude topic 3 by discussing the statement, LGBTQ plus parents should be banned from adopting children.
So we're just letting kids in orphanages?
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean,
But if it's in direct conflict with your religion, is it crazy?
Separation of church and state?
A lot of adoption agencies are run through churches and through religious organizations. Should they be allowed to restrict the types of people that are adopting the children they have in their care?
Not just on that, no.
How are they funded?
Privately.
Or private entity then?
So they're allowed to make their own decisions? If they received any government funding or grants, would that change your decision?
Yes.
How so?
They're being funded through the government. Everyone's paying into that.
So the government shouldn't be able to decide who adopts children based on their sexual orientation?
No.
Okay. Anyone have any other opinions on that?
What's the difference in same-sex parents adopting a kid as opposed to a kid who has a stepmom or a stepdad?
Having multiple
Yeah.
parents?
Two of the same gender anyways.
I think people would argue that even if they had a stepmom and a biological mom, those moms aren't raising that child in the same home together.
Maybe they should be.
And that you're still getting a traditional family example by having a man and a woman be the parents of a child.
What is a traditional family in what year are we in? 2023.
What do you guys think? What do your families look like?
I think we have about a minute left.
I mean, I have like a big happy family. Like, I'm a stepmom, and our kids have 4 parents, and they have 8 grandparents on each side, and it's the way, I don't know, it works. It's great.
I have a cousin who's gay. She was artificially inseminated, and her partner, and so has 2 children now. And can I say I was worried that something was gonna go like wrong? No. I mean, she loves her kids, they're gonna raise them properly, but it is a hard life for kids. One, you're already coming out of adoption. So if you throw in something like that too, and they go to school and kids, it's hard for kids to understand that and deal with that socially in this world.
Do you think
we live
still
in.
it is?
Yes, absolutely.
I think like another other, so they're adopted and they have 2 parents of the same sex.
Oh, and if you throw in a race card,
Mhm.
if they're biracial or a different race from who they were adopted, then that's another hardship. Because people are just not nice. They're
Yes, and if that kid wears the wrong shirt to school, they're picked on too.
yes. But this goes deeper.
Into something they can't change.
That kid's also going home to a loving home every day.
Yeah.
And people who chose and went out of their way to pick that kid.
So I
And
think
pay
it's
a
hard.
ton of money.
It's hard for an organization to stand their ground between that and that. I mean, but there's so many difficulties on both sides. That's a tough one.
I really appreciate you all being vulnerable and sharing and being willing to share your opinions today. We are going to wrap it up here. The debrief, so I'm gonna have Allie come up here and present the notes that Sarah took.
Good luck with that.
This is gonna be a 30-second per
Did my
topic, so a minute and a half total. A quick round of covering what we talked about today. So I'll let you present, Allie.
All right, topic number 1, trans bathroom access. We talked about the facility is responsible for deciding stuff.
Nailed it.
When do we identify in the transition when we're talking about this topic? Why don't we just have stalls for everyone? And why don't we just have like a family bathroom everywhere, or just no marking on the bathrooms? It just says bathroom.
Place to do your business.
Conversion therapy. Can't change what we are. Not a choice. No cause. And then our discussion of what if that was the only option we had to protect our child, would we do it? And then the adoption piece, that the government should not be able to control the rules around
Adoption.
and what type of family gets to and doesn't get to adopt children.
Thank you very much for summarizing that, Allie. I appreciate
job,
it. Well done. Good job
Nice
note taking,
note-taking.
Sarah. Mark, our time management was on point, and Stephanie, devil's advocate, excellent job.